Hello everyone, it is David here. Welcome back to my channel. So, this particular video is going to give you guys a bit of insight on one of my very first paranormal type experiences that I've experienced. I hope you enjoy and just sit back and relax and listen to this very interesting experience. So, my very first experience with the paranormal was when I was the age of 2. Some things you guys should know about me is I was born as a 3 to 4 month premature baby, and I was born as a cesarean section baby due to accident that my mom had when she was working, and I was just born because she had an accident, and she had to be rushed to the hospital. When I was born, I was an extremely underweight. I was an extremely underweight baby, and I was really, really small, according to what my mother had told me. And I had to be put on a life respirator box. It's the type of incubator boxes that premature babies like myself needed to use in order to be born. So the first year and a half of my life, I really do not remember much of. When I was about 2, I remember everything kind of foggy, but I would remember certain things that I would do at the age of 2, and I would remember, even though I don't remember very well my first year of life, I do remember that I was somewhere in the spirit realm. And that I was playing with this toy truck. From what I can remember of this other place that wasn't Earth, from my experience, the place that I was at was a place full of clouds, but everywhere that I looked as a baby toddler, everything was like dark moving clouds, and the only physical thing that I could touch was the toy truck and the floor. Which is very surprising to remember that, at least for me, and funny thing is, I know that I died a lot of times as like a premature baby. Because one moment I would be in this place with the dark moving clouds and playing with this toy truck, to being in the incubator box for just like a couple of seconds and then being back um, in that place. Um, I didn't see anybody around for a little while. Like, my only memory of my 2-year-old self being in this place was just the dark moving clouds, and this floor that was solid. And it was a black colored floor from what I remember. Um, so, how all of this tends to relate to my first experience with the paranormal is I met a dual light and dark version of what I believe to be God, but in a female form. Um, it sounds crazy, but I'm just, relaying my experience, um, from what, you know, I understood. So, I don't know what triggered, like, her to show up exactly. All I know is that there were these two women who looked exactly the same, and there was just no facial features that I could see as a 2-year-old self me. Um, like, the first side of her that I saw was her darker half. Um, and she spoke to me, um, saying that it was very annoying that, I kept on dying and that I should stop dying. And I remember that I told this darker half of what I believe to be God, um, like, well, it's not my fault that I keep dying. Like, I'm trying to stay alive, but it's kind of hard when, you're born extremely early. And I don't know why I was talking like a grown adult, or if there was, some sort of spiritual rule that you're able to speak as an adult when you're literally a 2-year-old kid. Um, but I didn't really question it, so yeah, I told the darker half of God, um, it's not my fault that I keep dying. I can't control it. I don't know how many times I've died already, but it's not my fault. So she didn't say anything, like, not anything harsh. She was like quiet. And then her dual half, which is the exact opposite of her, um, it's still her, but her lighter form. Um, I know that it sounds crazy, but when her lighter form talked to me, um, she sounded exactly the same as her darker half, but more, um, it sounded like she was more, like, compassionate, and there was a less of a sterner, way of speaking. Like, she felt very motherly, is how I can explain it. Um, so what ended up happening is her lighter half self, is just like the exact same person, um, merged together to form like the same woman. Um, but I didn't see any sort of facial features except for these piercing green eyes. Like, I wasn't able to see, um, like, exactly how her hair looked or exactly how her skin looked, but she merged with herself and became one with herself. And she said to me that, I need to stop dying. Like, this is kind of ridiculous to die about 16 times. And, as a 2-year old, like, I didn't even know what was going on except that there was this woman with green eyes literally telling me that she was annoyed at me dying so much. But I believe that she was, in a way, kind of just joking, because even though she did sound annoyed, I know that she knows that I wasn't trying to die on purpose, but, like, a 2-year-old kid can't really control, you know, when to live and when to die. So, um, the next type of paranormal thing that I do remember while being in between realms with her is that she did tell me that she was extremely powerful. She didn't tell me outright that she was God. Um, she didn't say that. She said that she was extremely powerful and that she's been watching me since like a very, very long time. I didn't see, from my experience, any sort of male deity. Like, for me, I did not see that. I just saw her. So she told me that um, she wanted me to go back to Earth and that she was going to lead me back to Earth from this realm. So, in my 2-year-old brain, I really believed her not to be like a guardian angel in the sense like of an actual angel guardian, but I did believe her to be like this. very protective woman that I would sometimes like dream about, um, but you know, I didn't know her as like any sort of guardian angel. Um, but I felt while I was with her, she was a very motherly figure that was extremely powerful. So I just adopted her as a very powerful being, um, who was extremely motherly and very caring. Um, so I did ask her who she was, um, and she told me that she was my mom, which 2-year-old me got very confused about. Um, because I had like a Earth mom, but she told me that, like, no, I'm your mom, and you know, you'll find out more about me as you're growing up. But right now, I need you to go back to Earth and live. That's like her exact words that I remember. And so she told me to stop playing with the toy truck. And this particular toy truck that I was playing with was a fire truck, which, now that I think about it, is extremely symbolic. Um, but anyway, she told me to stop playing with the toy fire truck, and I was like telling her, like, I don't really know who you are, but if you say that you're my mom, then okay, like, I'll go with you. And she took my hand very gently and led me, like, to a door, and I was pretty much brought back to Earth inside of my physical baby body. And the crazy thing, from what I remember my Earth mom telling me, is that the nurse who was attending my very dysfunctional um, life and death situation as the baby in the incubator, um, she was close to pronouncing me fully dead, but I ended up um, getting brought back to life, and uh, I remember just being like this 2-year-old baby just out of the incubator. Um, and that was like my very first experience with stuff having to do with the paranormal. Um, so if you enjoyed this video of me talking about this particular experience, there are plenty more besides this one. So feel free to subscribe to the channel if you would like to listen to me talk more about my personal paranormal life. Thanks for your time, and have a great day.